we're live.
And we are live. We're back for another Div 4 game. Very exciting.
Yes. So,
Yes.
yes.
You did not sound ready for me to talk to you then.
No, I didn't.
Um,
I thought you were going to say something along the lines of today we're going to be watching Moustaches versus Sloth Sanctuary, and then
that is also true, and I could have said that, but hey, I thought I'd leave the audience in a bit of suspense. This is going to be probably the highest level game we've casted so far, in
um,
that both of these teams are potential top five teams.
quite possibly we'll have to see for Moustaches. They've only just moved up from Division 5, so but they did finish second, so
Yeah.
they're a team of winners. That's it. That's what's important.
Now, one of our previous casts, we covered um, Les Engineers, Team
Yes.
Les, and we were very impressed with Team Les.
Mhm.
And they went on to play Sloth Sanctuary, who beat them 2-0.
That's true.
So, I mean, I had watched when we cast the Team Les game, I thought they were easily again a shoe in for top five after watching them win and play very well.
Yeah.
So, a little surprised at that they got beaten so convincingly.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, I'm just the map bans have started. Well, Sloth Sanctuary have cracked out some very interesting comps this season, especially in that
Yeah,
game against Team Les. They've picked up some interesting heroes, shall we say.
their Soft Sanctuary are very comfortable in Div 4, and they certainly like to have fun with their comps. That they don't just play meta heroes and try to win that way. They try to go for the mean values, shall we say?
Yeah, they're a very strong macro team. Some very good shot calling. So, well, I know they always ban out Infernal Shrines. They haven't done yet. The bans so far have been Dragonshire from Moustaches and Braxis Holdout from the Sloths. But their second ban will almost definitely be Infernal Shrines unless they've had a change of heart since last season.
Now, Moustaches came near the top of Div 5 last season.
Yeah, second.
They came second Div 5, got knocked out in the Epic Cup, but obviously moved up to Div 4 now. Um, they got a bye in their first round of this season
And they did.
and then lost their second game.
So, in breaking news, Moustaches banned Tomb of the Spider Queen, and then Sloth Sanctuary, just to prove me wrong, banned Towers of Doom, which is a great surprise. I was under the impression they hated Infernal Shrines.
Well, maybe they're just sticking with your first prediction and doing the unexpected.
Well, Moustaches are. It's as though I'm map drafting for them because they've picked Infernal Shrines. They might have been equally as surprised to see it not banned out. So
Yeah, they locked that in quite quickly once they saw
they
the
certainly
ban
did.
phases. And they're going, okay, let's take the map you normally don't want to play on. But
I mean,
hey,
it doesn't take too much to work on a map. Our team never liked playing Battlefield of Eternity,
and then
bit,
it became our favorite
and
map
then it became
as
our favourite
soon
map.
as
So
as soon as we decided to play Varian.
yeah,
um, so yeah, we will be going to Infernal Shrines. Lobby's being set up now. Are we doing terrible things? Poppin. We're living life on the edge right now.
are we?
Yeah, we are. We're using the in-game voice chat rather than Discord.
Oh no, right. We should swap over just
We should
for
rectify.
yes.
Seeing as the in-game voice chat has the tendency to let us down mid-game.
It's very true. Uh,
Eyes everywhere. Search.
oh,
Oh, did I click on the wrong one?
no, you got the right one, and they called you a spy, so they kicked you.
Amu hasn't added yet.
Yeah, he said he would soon. I think. I should probably remind him. Anyway, right. Yes, the draft will be beginning shortly after that slight confusion. I mean, I would have thought that I would have thought the portrait synergy between me and you would have, given that away.
That's what I was about to say. Our matching portrait says it all, and both teams with very good portrait synergy. You know these are Epic Cup finalists or people that have made it to the Epic Cup in the past when they've got good portrait synergy.
This is true. 2 successful teams and they have matching portraits. Yeah, it is the key to success, as we have discussed before.
But as you know, I have a new metric, and it's whether or not they have matching portraits on the Heroes Lounge website.
Well,
and neither of these teams do.
No, that is a shame. And Moustaches don't even have a team logo, which is unfortunate.
Really?
Yeah.
Lack of commitment.
It is a little bit, I must admit.
Or perhaps it suggests they're spending more time focusing on their in-game performance rather than worrying about things like a logo.
I think that's a valid point. We'll find out today, I'm sure.
We shall. It was quite interesting to see because obviously, with the way the format of Heroes Lounge works, where the knockout tournament at the end is between 2 divisions, so Div 4 and Div 5 in the Epic Cup.
Yeah.
You always get some wild cards where like the top of Div 5 might make it through to the final.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, it's quite interesting, I think, to see then how a Div 5 team actually performs when they move up a league into Div 4. Obviously, we've just moved up from Div 4 into Div 3. And we've got our expectations of where we hope to finish in the league this season.
Yeah, we do.
But yeah, I would hope that Moustaches are kind of mid to high finishers.
Yeah, I mean, it can happen. When we made the similar move from 5 to 4, we finished top 8 first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And then, so, yeah, potential's definitely there. As you mentioned earlier, they've only played 1 match so far. They did get a bye in round 1. They lost that match, but, it's still 8 to go, so...
Props to the portrait game from Search. Even the casters are on point. And then you're getting accused of being a tryhard.
I mean, is he wrong?
They've not seen your spreadsheets yet, so when they see your drafting spreadsheets, then they'll know you're a tryhard.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we're going to be betting against each other again today.
I mean, we don't have to, but it's bound to happen.
It doesn't have to be against each other.
But it's inevitable.
Are we sticking to the rules of you're betting based on the draft?
Yeah, of course.
So no biases.
No. I'm expecting some interesting drafts, or hoping for some anyway.
I mean, it's in Final Shrines. It's going to be global macro plays. Obviously I said this in the kind of previous cast. You see some odd picks on Infernal Shrines. I think because teams play it so often, and it gets so well practiced with them. It's where you do see things like Kerrigan's and like the Alex Strazas that you don't necessarily see on other maps, but where people know they can get a slightly different hero in and play something a bit different that's really good at fighting around these objectives and clearing the minions out.
Yep.
So this is probably, I would say, the map that we most often see rogue comps on.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy things like Murky's coming out.
Yeah. Well, but both of these teams have played some crazy things so far. Moustaches, they busted out the Sergeant Hammer, which I think is a valid pick on this map.
Yeah.
Do
you think as well, so like Moustaches obviously used to a very confident season last season. Sloth Sanctuary fairly commonly at the top of Div 4, I would say.
Mhm.
When you're used to kind of being one of the stronger teams in your league, that gives you that freedom to play the more out there comps. Do you think
Yeah.
Moustaches, as the season goes on, will start to tend towards more of meta picks just because it's sometimes easier to compete then?
Yeah, I think you have to adapt a little bit. The meta will change as you rise through the divisions. If you look at the stats at the end of a season, you can see it.
So like Deathwing is the go to example from last season.
Yeah,
Hardly seen in Div 4 and 5, but then Div 3 upwards was one of the most banned heroes.
yes, definitely. So we see the Anna ban, and that was, I believe, the most banned hero against the Moustaches last season. A very strong comfort for them.
Yeah. So
Um,
both these teams have researched each other fairly well, and are already target banning.
the Rhaegar ban in response again. That's another respect ban.
Yeah. Now, Sloth Sanctuary don't play Mal'Ganis much. Am I right in saying?
They haven't. No, that could change,
Yeah.
but there's no evidence for it.
Because at the moment, normally, if I see an Alaban, I think Mal'Ganis is going to get picked up.
Yeah. No, she was banned against the Moustaches 18 times last season, so that's
Who is the support player for Moustaches?
you're testing me now, aren't you?
Oh yeah,
Um,
I know you
oh,
know this
you've
stuff.
distracted me far too long. I've forgot to change to the draft screen.
How
Um,
dare I?
it's okay, we've not missed much. The Zul ban from Sloth Sanctuary, as you
And
might
the
expect.
Joanna ban.
Yeah, so a respect ban first from each team, and then back to sort of meta for the map.
Yeah, Johanna's really nice on this map, so not surprised to see her go. She's definitely top tier tank at the moment. Sonya first pick.
Sonya, yeah, it's a very favoured hero for Paradox. I know we banned Sonya against him last season, if I recall.
Yeah.
So I'm not really surprised to see that. Yeah, it might seem a bit strange for first pick, but they might be worried about it being banned out. So
Yeah. Now, Bean giving you instructions from the chat, telling you off for not showing the bans.
I'm
Um,
sorry.
do you think of picking up the Sonya so quickly? I know we tend to avoid picking up the solo laner too early because it allows for the counters to be picked.
Mm-hmm. Well, Malfield's another comfort pick for. So both teams seem to have like a favoured offlaner, and Malfield is the favoured offlaner for Moustaches. 12 times it was played last season, 100% win rate. So
Ooh.
I think they were keen to make sure that didn't get banned out.
And how do you find he normally performs in the solo lane against Sonya?
I don't know. I don't go anywhere near the solo lane.
See, I would expect the Sonya to be all right, and the Malfield will, in certain situations, if he goes on Pale Horse, obviously be able to double soak a bit quicker than the Sonya.
Mm-hmm.
So could be, if they're going for the macro, could be kiting that Sonya around a bit.
Yeah, quite possibly. That'll be interesting to see.
So we've got the Muradin and Dahaka picks, as well as obviously the ETC and the Malfuel. Kel'Thas ban, possibly just a bit of a meta ban there. And
Yeah,
Savannah's ban, same thing.
yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, just taking out anything that they feels a bit of a threat on this map, anything that's particularly good at either getting that objective or pushing with it.
Yep, certainly.
What are you expecting to see from Sloth Sanctuaries here? So obviously they're going to be picking up 2 damage dealers. The Muradin and the Sonya and the Deca doesn't necessarily suggest any big wombo at the moment.
No, it's hard to say really. They do like Falstad, so I wouldn't be massively surprised to see that. But I suppose it's
I mean,
a good map for it, perhaps. But
with the Greymane and Jimmy picked up on the other side, a bit of disengage couldn't hurt with a full stat, definitely.
yeah,
Something to shut them down. They've got the stay a while and listen, which could be their save everyone's life button when the hard
yep.
engage comes.
The Tracer.
Tracer
Ah,
and Jaina. So obviously, as we discussed just before this, Tracer's got 1 banned talent at the moment. You can't pick up Untouchable. But yeah, new Tracer having just been reworked, so it should be quite exciting to see. And yeah, she's reportedly quite powerful, even though I don't play her. So
I mean,
and then the Malfurion final pick from Moustaches.
Sloth Sanctuary did play Tracer towards the end of last season. I remember it from one match against Unstoppable, and they did lose that one. I don't know. Don't know off the top of my head if they did play it again.
Okay, so they're well practiced with it anyway.
Yeah, I presume they've been practicing it since last season. You would assume.
Possibly then very happy when the patch notes came in. I know it certainly cheers me up when a hero or a build that I play gets buffed.
Yeah, definitely.
Rewards you for playing off meta.
Yeah. I quite like. It seems a bit weird, but I like the Decad with the Tracer. It's one of those that you don't think is a good synergy, but I always like having a Decad with me when I'm playing Tracer.
Because it gives you certain points to go back to, that heal's coming.
You can kind of plan your escape and
Yeah.
Anyway, we're heading into game now.
Yeah, so on the left we have Moustaches with Valdus on Malfurion, Search on Reyna, Blower Mink on ETC, Pogo OK API on Malfuel, do not know how to pronounce that, and Ease on Greymane.
And then on the right hand side we have Sloth Sanctuary. We have Dentro on Sonya, Typhoon Hawk on Jaina, Paradox on Muradin, Tiny Owl on Decade, and Pitter on Tracer.
Both teams choosing to commit to the fight in mid by the looks of it. I suppose we've got some people wanting to get stacks, get some damage already on the go. Not really sure from Moustaches why they went to mid lane. Not much benefit to them there.
No, but the Greymane's rotated down quite quickly there, so...
Yeah. Tracer trying to punish the Malfurion on the first rotation, and kind of getting caught out because Malfurion went to help out. So, and didn't get the value here. She's coming to gank as well. Surprised Sonya chose to back off then when the Tracer was coming in. Perhaps a bit of miscommunication that she was coming up for the gank. But yeah, Sonya choosing to just stay out of sight for now, getting ready to soak.
The camps are up now. We see Greymane starting the bottom camp, and Jimmy and Malfurion starting the left-hand side camp. Sloth Sanctuary haven't started theirs just yet. They're just catching up on soak.
Yeah, with the Tracer constantly going to gank, they've only really got the Jaina for wave glyph, not that Tracer's much help anyway. Sloth Sanctuary obviously choosing to rotate as 4 to soak, whereas Moustache just put Greymane in bottom and let Greymane do the soaking. So slightly different approaches on the strategy. And they're now finishing off the camp, so perhaps getting a bit of an advantage here.
So Malfield's already started the double soaking, but Tracer is all over him, getting the pulse bomb on him here. Just missing out on the kill. So I think do you think the Tracer was a reaction to the Malfield? Is she going to just hang around and bully him while he tries to double soak?
I don't necessarily. I think that would have been their plan the whole time, to have that Tracer get that opportunities for ganks on the rotation. I think if they allowed this map through, it's because after last season they've gone, we want to have a strategy for it. And I think wide open lane, wider part lanes, creating an opportunity for Tracer to get lots of ganks.
Yeah,
quite like it as a bit of a plan.
Yeah.
You might see something like a Genji or Zeratul trying to do similar things from other teams.
Well, while that was happening, Tracer was getting the kill on Malfield, and they've also captured their bruiser camp top right as the blue team start theirs on the left. Tracer having a little bit of a peek here just to see if it is Malfield soloing it, but no luck just now.
Yeah, it's not the first time Tracer's gone to check on the camp, and it's been the full team doing it. If Pitter's not careful, there could be a Malfurion waiting in a bush ready to put a root down. So just got to be careful with these going forward. If they become aware the Tracer's always checking, they might set a bit of an ambush for her.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Tracer clearing top, which is a bit odd to see. Or pushing top while they try to defend as a 4-man.
Moustache is taking a lead now.
Unless the Tracer comes down, they get help. This objectives gone, I wouldn't really say we got much value from split pushing there.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps the idea was just to give the first objective.
Yeah, I mean, got half a level XP lead. I didn't really see what XP lead they had going into the objective. But it's not a huge difference. We know because of the tower changes, they're only really going to expect to get the towers, gates, and maybe the well. Depending on how hard they push for this. They've obviously got Malfuel and Greymane soaking to make up for the fact that the Sonya and the Tracer have. But yeah, they're only getting the towers and the wall. It doesn't look like they're going to push too hard for this well.
No. Tracer and Sonya putting a bit of pressure on Greymane in the mid, and that was, so close to a kill. 200 health left for Greymane there.
Yeah.
That was really well executed. He was so close to his towers that I didn't think they would get a chance there to get him solo, but...
And that's the Tracer strategy here, really, isn't it? You never know when she's going to turn up, and if she's got that pulse bomb, you can get a kill. But they hunted her down and punished her. Completely choosing to ignore so they just wanted revenge and a death on that Tracer.
Yeah, well, I think Pitcher's had free range of the sort of top half of the map so far, so I think Moustaches have they've had enough.
Yeah.
They're hunting her down.
Yeah, and I mean, Greymane now is quite pushed up in lane as a result of that. Malfuel's looking like he's either rotating down for a fight or double soaking. So it's given them a bit of freedom now to go, okay, back to doing our strategy.
Yeah.
Chasing off that Muradin and not finishing off the camp.
Talent choices are looking very standard from what I can see. I want to find one talent that's looking a bit odd, but I can't, so...
No.
Yeah, all very standard.
Use Jaina, spin to win Sonya,
Yeah.
all the usual stuff.
So blue team feeling out bottom camp. They see the red team and decide not to engage. Sloth Sanctuary should hit level 10 just before them here.
Yeah. And let's see how aggressive they go with this. If I was them, I'd be trying to get that bottom camp quickly with the 10. But it looks like they're going to go try to kill Jimmy instead. And he's had ample warning from his team. Get back to safety. Don't risk it. Meanwhile, Moustaches get the bottom camp, knowing that they were looking for the gank on Jimmy. They're going to be a bit too slow, and they are going to be caught out though. So this could be a decisive fight before the next objective. Yep. Nice route on the Muradin, followed up by the Greymane. Good mosh as well. That's a dead Muradin, 100%. Stay a while, just a little bit too late to save them, and Malfuel's looking for that kill on Tiny Owl. She's going to get away. She's going to get under a fort. Malfuel being heavily punished by the Tracer. Good route again. Tracer down. Yeah, that route forcing her to recall into the team.
Yeah.
Bit of pain there for Sloth Sanctuary. Yeah, really, it was CC chains. Got that Muradin out, then when he tried to jump out, he got rooted.
Yeah.
And then the stay a while, like I said, nearly saved Muradin, but a little bit too late. And then CCs were off cooldown, and that's what got Tracer out again.
Yeah, it was very well executed by Moustaches. They nearly got the kill on Jaina as well. Greymane could quite possibly have finished her off, but he might have got himself killed in the process. But very nice.
What's worth noting is Sloth Sanctuary reacted really well to that and got bodies back in lane, got people soaking, and even though they've had the 2 deaths in that fight, equal on XP, but what they haven't done is cleared the camps after Moustache has got them.
Yeah.
So got that pressure on bot, got a bit of pressure on mid. They're going to be now contesting top while Sonya clears, giving them a 4v5. And they are going to get punished for it again. Muradin just not ready for the CC.
No. He did have Avatar up, but he just did not get a chance to cast it. That's one of the problems. Sorry, carry on.
Greymane's going for an auto attack, melee cannon. So when he's going into that Worgen form, he's going to be hurting that Muradin a lot more than if he was going for like a cocktail.
Definitely. I mean, that's the problem with turning up late to the objective. When you've got a Decade, potions aren't down, you don't have a cleanse, so if they get the crowd control out quickly, Muradin's really going to struggle.
interesting just watching this Tracer slowly steal that camp away.
Yeah.
It's gonna work. She's gonna get it, but meanwhile in top lane, again her team are a man down,
Well,
and Sash is pushing in.
Sonya's
Sonya
rotated
and
up.
Tracer both coming in the back line now. It's quite an exciting engage. Nice power slide from ETC, stunned them both. Stay a while stopping the Grey Mane from finishing them off. Sonya did die, Tracer didn't. I was like, oh, and now Malfield gets here. Bit late, nice power slide. Not quite to dead mode, and he had his avatar. Is it avatar? Yeah.
Avatar? Yeah, Avatar.
Yeah. Avatar, I don't know. I just kept wanting to say, hey, Maker. Had his avatar up, and that was enough to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a fairly even fight. I mean, ETC responded very well to the Tracer and Sonya appearing in his back line to stop them getting a huge amount of value.
And they managed to protect the fort. They saved the fort just about, so...
Yeah.
If they'd given that, that would have been more pressure on top, and...
Yeah, I think if Malfield had been at that fight a little bit earlier, it would have heavily gone in Moustache's favour.
Yeah.
But as it is, that was all right for defending the Punisher. It stopped them getting any huge value.
Yeah.
Now all 5 Moustaches are in the bot lane, but Sloth Sanctuary know they're all there, so they don't need to take a fight. No,
Muradin absolutely deleted the fantastic CC chain.
A little bit of frustration from Muradin. So just as I was saying, they know all 5 are there. They don't need to force it. He still just has to put his head in that bush and say, "Come on, I want to be doing something. I don't want to just stand here and let you have it." Whereas they knew they were going to lose bot 4 unless they got all 5 people down to defend. They're getting value soaking, and I mean they're still neck and neck on XP. They've got some wave clear to be doing. They're about to be 2 structures down. Depending on how Moustaches play this now. If I was Moustaches, I'd be getting 5 people in top, pushing that while they clear the camps.
Yep.
But they're not that far behind. They can get this next objective. They've still got their well in mid, which they can make use of. It's not ideal positioning. Keep that mid lane safe. Keep neck and neck. Don't die when Moustaches hit 16 now and contest that next objective, and you can still win this game.
Yeah, well, Moustaches have just hit 16, they've got Mosh Pit up, they've got all the heroics up. They'll probably want to fight here if they can. If someone steps out away from the fort, I think they'll be going for them.
It's a very small time window here where you've got 16, try to force the fight, and that window's closing. Sloth Sanctuary are about to get 16, so they want this Sonya. If they get this Sonya,
One-man
they've
Mosh
got
Pits.
the next objective.
And she goes
Worth
down.
it.
Yeah, Deckard was bot with Jaina, so...
Entirely worth it. They can get this top 4, then go get the objective. And they've got 30 seconds without Sonya. Ooh, stay a while interrupted.
It's gone on to a 10-second cooldown.
Moustache is not trying to force any kills there, which I think is the right decision. They've got the camp, they can go get the objective.
Yeah.
Sonya's going to be back in 15 seconds, but you're going to have Tracer trying to clear this camp at top, which is not the ideal choice again.
Yeah, it's been like that every objective so far. I mean, they're on even talent tiers now. If Sonya can get in here in time, they could contest, but I don't think they will have time, will they?
I think they're going to be there too late, unless they start pushing in now 4v5, which they do. And yeah, they pushed in 4v5 because they obviously wanted to contest. They wanted to get that Sonya there, and they got heavily punished. That same CC chain. Every time that ETC lands a power slide, there's a Malfurion route there.
Yep, really nice coordination there.
They've obviously practiced that, and they're obviously calling who they're going to be going on. Muradin, I mean, like I said, it looked like a frustration play on bot where he stuck his head in the bush when he knew it was dangerous at bot. He's possibly going to be getting a little bit more frustrated now.
You would be, wouldn't you?
Yeah, at this stage you're like, why am I dying so quickly every time? Come on, what are we doing about this? And the answer is you've got to try to bait out that Malfurion route and then fight by yourself. 10 seconds without it, or kind of however long that cooldown is.
Yeah. So
Punisher jumped on Tracer and no follow up, so that Moustaches playing safe, backing out. I mean, all they're needing every time is 1 or 2 kills. You know, it's the Muradin kill and potentially the Tracer every time, and they win the fight. They get the objective. They get the macro going. They're not trying to force 5-man team wipes. They're not chasing Sloth Sanctuary to the end of the world. They're just going, we've got enough now to win this macro game. We've got 1 kill, back to the macro.
Yeah, it feels like there's been a lack of proper team fights. Like you say, it's been big explosion and done. Here comes another fight here. A lot of pressure on Malfield, the pulse bomb, but he won't go down.
He's getting out of this. You got Greymane trying to chase Tracer down. Muradin's going to fall. This could potentially be our first full team wipe here. Yeah. It's really nice. I don't know what CC they're going to get on Tiny Owl, but she's not getting away, that's for sure. And if I was them, go to bot and try to end.
Yeah, they've got the camp there at full health. They've got a catapult and a few minions. They could definitely take that keep, and with a Greymane, you could probably take the core if they'd have gone straight there. They might still have time, but
John in Twitch chat saying that looks like Sloth Sanctuary have had a rule swap.
Yeah, I know it's been a bit back and forth for them in the last couple of seasons. I know Dentro moved to DPS last season, and then he's back on offlane now, so we'll see what happens in the second match, but that's GG called 1-0 to the Moustaches.
Yeah, I mean, really nice strategy and well played by the Moustaches. I think I understand what they're trying to do there with the Tracer getting kind of rotations and kills.
Yep.
I just don't think it worked out well for them. There was like going up to top lane to try to gank Malfield when Malfield was actually quite defensively positioned anyway, and it wasn't low enough for them to get the kill. Unlucky on was it Greymane in mid, where he got away with a sliver of health.
He did, yeah.
But then once they started to fall behind, they kind of lacked the wave clear to deal with the macro pressure.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I know I mentioned it, but when you have a Decade in your team, you need to get to that objective earlier, set up. And they never had a chance to. Every time they were there, they had to split one off to clear a camp, and Moustaches sort of abused that, got the kill they needed. Pitter pointing out what our roles. I mean, I agree.
Recently we've been sticking more defined to rules, but yeah, if someone's your main tank, but they're really good on, Orphea, say, and they decide to buff Orphea, why not do a comp where your main tank plays Orphea, someone else plays a tank that they're able to play? So yeah, bit of flexibility.
I can think of a lot of reasons, but I don't think that'll ever happen.
That's boring. Or you just let your main tank play your main tank, and then you win.
So the Sloth Sanctuary have gone for first pick, and the Moustaches have picked Cursed Hollow, which is a favourited map of theirs. I don't have the exact stats at my fingertips right now, but they definitely played that quite a few times last season.
Now, there's similarities obviously between Cursed Hollow and Infernal Shrines. Largely, there's a lot of focus on the team fight. You're fighting out of lane.
There we go.
You've got your big macro plays going on. Some bosses that you can go for on Cursed Hollow, of course.
Yeah.
So do you think you're going to see something similar for them that's kind of team fight focused about getting locked down on one person and a blow up? Or do you think they'll be... I mean, they played the macro quite well with getting camps and stuff.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me if they perhaps go for like globals or something like that as something a bit different.
Yeah, I know that Moustaches played quite some Zagara last season, Sergeant Hammer, so yeah, they could be going for a bit more split push oriented comps.
Lunara as well they play, so
yeah.
Option there.
I mean, equally as in lobbies up.
I mean, just looking at Sloth Sanctuary, and it's like Vikings, Cho'Galls, Zagara.
Yeah, there's some interesting picks there.
Question mark.
Yeah, will we see the Vikings? I think they played Zagara in a match as well, so Zagara might be contested here.
We could see potentially any global strategy here, couldn't we?
Yeah, I don't want to speak too soon, but last season the Sloths did treat us to some juice pirates on more than one occasion. They got some impressive victories with that. It didn't quite work out for them in the finals of the Epic Cup, but you never know. We could see it.
Now
We could see it here.
they're calling it rule fluid in chat. There. I'm trying to think of anything that I can say that won't involve you telling me off for not being politically correct enough. So I will make no comments about being rule fluid.
I forgot to do the betting last match. I was too excited for the match.
I also was. Yeah, I completely forgot. I don't know who I would have gone off the draft last time. It has to be said. There wasn't any kind of like major obvious cheesy strategies or anything like that.
No.
Has Sloth Sanctuary's portrait changed between games?
I think they changed it right towards the end of the last lobby.
Okay.
I think.
I was gonna say that is like, because I don't want to make you paranoid, but that's a Viking portrait.
It is.
And if they were changing portraits specifically for map, I would love that little teaser of, are we going Vikings? Do you need to ban these out?
Yeah.
That's the sort of mind game I like to play.
Definitely. Is it foreshadowing? We will find out.
Yeah. If I see any Viking emojis in chat, yeah, hands down have to ban it as messages.
So we are heading into draft now. So first ban to Sloth Sanctuary.
First ban Vikings. They pick up Murky. I mean, the cheesy strategies for Sloth Sanctuary, I know we've complained about it in the past when they've beaten us, because it just makes it harder for you to draft against, doesn't it?
Definitely.
When you don't know what to expect, it does give you that kind of puts you off balance a bit. Or if you know you're against Vikings, you're thinking, God, do we have to deal with this?
Yeah.
Can't we just do our usual strategy?
So they ban out the grey main. Fully respect ban. The last game, I think he got a lot of value on that. So especially with the curse bullet.
Yeah, I mean, it's the perfect follow up to those CC lockdown blow up comps, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you think there's a chance they're going to do it again because they've picked a similar map that's focused around team fighting that has a lot of bushes that they can be looking for ganks from, then yeah, take that option away. Take away stuff that's good at blowing up, essentially. Perhaps take away something like a Jaina as well.
So they followed up with a Sylvanas ban, so that leaves Anna open, which we mentioned is a high priority. So it'll be interesting to see if Sloths try and take that away from them, or if they just don't mind it on this map.
Slightly surprised to see the Sylvanas ban. This isn't necessarily her best map.
A very quick snap pick on ETC.
I think you see this quite a lot, where one team will win with a hero, and you essentially see literally the other team just going, our turn. Time for us to pick it up. Let's see how we get on with it. So, yeah, maybe we'll see Power slide into another form of CC and a blow up comp coming from Sloths. Or it could be ETC off lane with Stage Dive, get that macro value.
Quite possibly. We see Tracer Aberfur picked up by the Moustaches. They're going to have a go at Tracer.
Yeah. Are we just going to see the entire strategies done in reverse?
Quite possibly.
I mean, Tracer Aberfur, I've played against it once since the Tracer rework, and
there's the Vikings.
There's the Vikings. I mean, Tracer can farm these Vikings, right? She keeps roaming for kills, and the rest, as a free man, try to deal with the rest of the team.
I mean, if you play it, if the Vikings play safe, Tracer will, she won't be able to clear the waves very quickly.
Yeah.
So, yes, you can get the kills, but not as, Zeratul can clear the wave, kill the Viking, but Tracer can't quite clear the wave as fast, so hard to say. Especially if, they have an Aberfur as well, so if Tracer's farming Vikings, the 4-man of Sloth Sanctuary, they'll be 4v3. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too...
Zooming down. Yeah, I wouldn't be too worried now as the
Not
Vikings.
just yet, no. We'll see what the rest of the draft is, but...
And Balfurian respect that?
Yeah, it looks like it. There was a lot of nice follow-up routes there, so...
Yeah. And what do you think we're going to...
What else will we see?
Yeah.
Stealing away the Sonya and the
Taronda.
Tyrande.
I mean, you Sonya Spear and Taronda Stun can be a nice little combo there. I mean, you could be looking at like a Leap Sonya. I mean, because Taronda, she can stun quite deep into the enemy team. If you're looking at Leap, Tracer can blink in there really quickly and kill something as well. So yeah, they could be just looking to absolutely just bypass the ETC and punish a backline.
Yeah.
Thrall and Ufa.
Oh, very
So,
nice.
so solo support Ufa.
Don't support Ufa, but with 3 heroes that can sustain themselves quite well.
Yeah. And do you think we're going to get Crash Lightning in the 4-man?
Let's see what the tank is for Moustaches. I can see a Diablo here. And if that's the case, then maybe Rolling Thunder could be good.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, a noob, yeah.
Nubarak. Okay.
Similar idea to the Diablo, that hardened gauge type
Yeah.
of backline. So, I mean, Ufa, do you go Divine Storm when they all dive in, just try to CC them all?
I mean,
Or do you go
I would.
Divine Shield and put it on yourself and run away?
Well, I was doing it in quick match the other day actually with Leaf. Came up against Tracer 2 matches in a row, and I was Ufa. You go Benediction, 1 stun, 2 stun, Divine Storm. She's dead every time.
Yeah.
You can't do anything against it. Like you need
That's
a lot of heals to save her and a lot of cleanse. So
And I know you've got the noob into the Tronda stun, potentially with the leap. If they don't get those off on the Ufa, they're going to be punished back hard as well.
definitely.
And there's always that threat of a mosh pit. Now, where's your money? And I'm asking you first because I don't know. Where's your money in this game?
I'm going for Sloth Sanctuary. I think the Vikings will get really good value. I like the... I'm going to done the betting this time. I like the Ufa. I don't think there's too much on Moustache's side that would make me think, oh no, we've only got a solo support Ufa. So yeah, I like the comp. It's very sustainy. As long as they play the macro right, which I think they will, then I think we're going to be 1-1 here.
Obviously, I'm slightly more inclined to bet against you just for the sake of betting against you. But of course, I put my money on Moustaches. We've got Blauer Mink on a noob, Valdas on Taronda, Search on Sonya, Ease on Abafa, and Pogo OK API on Tracer.
And then the red team, we have Sloth Sanctuary, we have Typhoon Hawk on the Lost Vikings, Paradox on ETC, Pitter on Reyna, Tiny Owl on Ufa, and Dentro on Thrall. So.
And Sloth Sanctuary choosing to go straight to bot lane because they've got those Vikings.
Immediate reaction from Moustaches, Anubarak, and Tracer. I didn't recognise it was the new skin there, but...
You've got Sonya trying to counter them. And then you've got 2 at the moment in bot and Tracer looking for kills. I think I possibly would put Sonya in the bot lane with the free man, and I would have the Tracer just looking for kills.
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier though, it's the worry about the wave clear. Like even with an Abafa hat, it's still not... You might not be able to keep up with the Vikings.
Yeah. So because it's only 2 people in bot lane, Sloth's already taken a tower. Flower Mink did miss a stun on Tiny Owl, which meant that she narrowly escaped death. I think if the stun had landed, she possibly would have been in trouble.
Yeah.
And now Tracer's in bot to help out. I don't think these 3, unless they get a lot of Abafa hat love, are going to be enough to stop this 4-man pushing in. They just don't look substantial enough of that new Brack front line to really stand up to it.
Yeah, and it's hard for Tracer to really get a kill on anyone when you've got an Ufa on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Jimmy who's just got enough auto attack range that he can just stand there and zone you out as much as possible.
Yeah, Tracer going for the kill on mid, and Olaf goes down just...
Just getting it. Just getting the Olaf. I thought he was going to get away. When I saw that pulse bomb explode and it didn't seem to do much damage, you need to update the screen, Poppin.
Oh, fuck.
Too busy worrying about the voting.
Too busy worrying about the voting. My bad.
So yeah, there's been a bit of action missed so far. Then only Tracer getting the kill on a Viking in mid, and up until now, Sloth Sanctuary have been pushing bot and managed to take a tower. They're rotating up now for the Bruiser camp. But no, I think Moustaches are doing okay dealing with the Vikings so far. I think the Sonya could be double soaking, really. You either need Tracer dealing with the Vikings or Sonya, and the rest of them sticking together. Having Tracer in mid and Sonya on top is just giving them a disadvantage.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Well, here comes the first tribute spawn. We're going to see Sonya staying top. I think it'll be an easy capture for the Sloths if that's the case.
I mean, she's got to stay top now because she's far too slow rotating. Because they had the siege camp, I think she could have come bot and the Vikings would have had to deal with the siege camp. But perhaps instead they're hoping to get a tower at top with Sonya pushing in hard.
It's a nice stun by Tyrande, but they managed to take down towers.
Yeah, and they're going to keep pushing the spot lane. There's nothing there to scare them off. And like I said, this is the problem. If you've got Tracer in mid and Sonya in top, there's no threat whatsoever to Sloth Sanctuary just steadily pushing in.
I mean, Moustaches are doing a decent job to stay relatively even on XP so far. They're hitting 7 just after them.
Tracer trying to kill Jimmy, but getting chased off by the rest of his team, and Jimmy essentially healing himself back up to full.
Yeah, I mean, Sonya's managed to get both towers top lane, so that's kind of matching what the Sloths have accomplished on bot. So, no massive Viking value just yet, but it is still early game, and you'll start to see an XP lead later on. Well, that'll be the what the Sloths are hoping for anyway.
And we're starting to see some more Viking kills, so this could help Moustaches out as well. Alleviate some of the pressure before this tribute. Looks like they're choosing to give this tribute again, although a noob might kill himself here with no support from his team. So he is posturing to interrupt. Tyrande's going to get the interrupt now, and the noob's being punished. Went in for an interrupt that wasn't needed, and barely getting out with his life.
Yeah, there's those Tyrande heals here. Elun's chosen, just keeping him alive there. Reyna's in a lot of trouble now.
Yeah, that was nice. That was a nice kill on Jimmy. Tracer really trying to chase that ETC down as well, but not having any success. And if I was Tracer now, I would be getting straight back to mid and bot and looking for some Viking kills. Now, Moustaches have walked ahead with the XP lead as well, which is good news for them now at 10.
How do we find... Let me find us a Vikings. They're on 121 stacks at the moment of bribe.
Here comes the siege camp to the Vikings. And Sloth's choosing to push this bot lane again, which they are going to be successful at, while Tracer and Tyrande try to get the bruisers. So if Sloths do decide to push hard, they are going to get some value.
Now, Moustaches are about to hit level 10, maybe. Oh, okay, no, both teams are going to hit it at roughly the same time.
Yeah.
The tribute spawning, it's in a favourable position for the Sloths, but both teams sitting at one tribute apiece, so I don't think Moustaches have to force this here.
No, I don't think they're going to. Anubarak's clearing out bot. I actually thought Sloths would keep the 4-man just pushing bot and let Moustaches possibly get this tribute, but no, they've rotated up. They're going to get that tribute uncontested now, and then they'll have to clear mid lane and possibly clear top as well. So bit of tidying up before the next fight. Is Tracer going boss? This is a brave play. They know they've got camps in mid and top, so they know there's going to be tidying up from Sloth Sanctuary. Mustaches are getting boss.
Yep, Sloths haven't clocked on just yet, and they might be starting it just now.
No boss. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like they've got time. It's taking Moustaches a while to clear out theirs, so.
Now the Vikings are potentially obviously going to get some nice value pushing with this boss during this objective.
Yeah. It'd be nice to see a Viking bot just trying to poke this tribute now. Sloths can. The Sloths would prefer a fight here while the bosses push.
Yeah.
So if they. Yep.
Sloths have to react because the tribute's in bot. It means that Mustaches can get the tribute, then start pushing with their boss straight away. Yes, the Sloths have to come down to stop them getting too much value from that boss.
Ooh. Tracer nearly went down a very nice mosh pit onto Rand and Nubarak. A lot of damage going out.
Tracer has gone down. For happy to chase her to the end of the earth.
Oh, nice Divine Shield.
Divine Shield. Do you think that was a bit of a deliberate bait there as well?
Quite possibly.
It was only the Tracer clone, but they've got 2 kills. They can afford to push, and they're going to get that bottom 4. Tronda being quite brave, staying there and contesting it. There's not much she can do apart from risk her life. And Tribute's now spawning. They've got 30 seconds. I kind of hope that Sloth Sanctuary don't waste this 30 seconds just waiting for the Tribute. They can go aggressive now and try to look for another fight or look for a fort.
Good scouting by the Anubarak there.
Very, very sensible checking of that bush. I thought that was going to be a decisive kill there. So he checks the bush, he gets away with his life, and you've got Sonya and Tracer coming in the back line now.
We've still got Divine Shield and Mosh Pit down for the Sloths, but Cocoon's only just coming up for Anubarak now. Here come the Vikings.
Oh, Tracer deleted.
Nice Sunder to finish her off there.
Done from Ufa, followed by the Sunder, and just disappeared. I was about to say she was doing a really nice job pressuring the back line. Anubarak getting punished by Jimmy. Vikings destroying Taronda. That's a very decisive fight for Sloth Sanctuary. Perhaps a bit of lack of coordination on the engage from Mustaches. There was no single target that they focused during that, and instead you had slowly one by one them just getting picked off.
Yeah. ATC was in the cocoon for the majority of that as well, and they still... That didn't matter too much in the end. Thrall sustained himself quite well with the Ufa heals, and...
No, it's like you said, with having the Ufa, that Tracer is very vulnerable in the backline, pressuring him like that. So if Tiny Owl's calling out when Ufa's about to stun the Tracer, then the team can just follow up, and Tracer does not have enough health to sustain that. Yeah. And Taronda can't really do much to get any heals to the Tracer there as well.
Yeah, Tracer's been flanking from the side, so she can't get the Elun's Chosen on her in time. Yeah. Sloths are about to hit 16 as well, so this could possibly snowball here if they can get a pick.
Yeah. I'm surprised they're not staying a bit more aggressive in bot here. I mean, the curse is nearly done, but there was only 3 people defending it. And here comes the engage from a noob. ETC effectively zoning out all of Mustache's damage there. He is in the cocoon.
A lot of damage on Thrall there. The Divine Shield's not out in time.
Really nice pressure on Thrall. A noob is trying to chase down Jimmy, gets his stuns off, and Tracer's there to follow up. Divine Shield keeping Jimmy alive for now, but it's not going to be for long. Sonya finishes off Ufa, Taronda finishes off Jimmy, and Tracer chases down the ETC. Time to make a decision, Mustaches. What do you do? Looks like there isn't much of a decision. They're cleaning up bot. They've not got much to deal with the Vikings. The noob's going to try to deal with the Vikings, which is perhaps the least effective person from their team to do so. Sonya's trying to push bot. They're not going to get a whole lot of value from that team wipe, sadly for them. Tidying up work, and I suppose that's the value that Vikings give to you. if you've had to go a minute of not dealing with the Vikings because you're having to fight the other team and deal with their push, it means the Vikings can just put complete global pressure on you, so that even if you get a team wipe, you just have to deal with their handiwork.
Yeah.
Both teams getting camps now. Siege camp in exchange for bruisers, and it looks like Soft Sanctuary are just checking the boss. But I don't know if they're going to want to force the fight here or just back out so that they can contest the tribute instead.
Yeah, if they lost a team fight here, then it'd be a free tribute for the Moustaches. So
yeah, if they lose a team fight, it was a boss and a tribute. So,
yes.
Yeah. So no, they're heading up. They're going to be contesting at the tribute instead, poking a bit of damage on that Tracer and forcing her to just blink out and get back to safety.
Clone has been used by the Moustaches, so it would be a good fight to take this for the Sloths. All heroics up apart from the Clone.
Vikings are just keeping an eye on bottom boss, just to be safe.
Cocoon
ETC
on ETC.
And the Cocoon, dive on Jimmy. They're going for the Jimmy kill here. Now going to turn on Thrall. It was a nice Starfall as well, hitting 3 of their members. Looks like they're accepting that's enough to get the tribute. Continuing to chase down that ETC, and now that you've got the curse, you're not going to hit by the towers, but power slide followed up with a Thrall. Tracer was lucky to get out with a life there. I think we've got a Viking looking for an Abathur at bot. Abathur's on the run.
When it's Eric, he's speedy. He can catch up with him here, but he's
speedy,
nearly in the keep.
There's not much damage. Come on, Eric! Oh.
Nearly. Nice, very nice Typhoon Hawk.
There's the Abathur kill. That's what we live for.
that's what we're all here to see.
I mean, they only had to give up a fort for that. Gonna not get the kill on Sonya in mid. That's unfortunate for them. She's just spinning to win, get to safety. And it looks like I think that keeps going to be able to hold on in top now with 3 people rotating up to it.
Ooh. Rainer's in a lot of trouble there. Big CC and he gets deleted.
Yeah, unlucky. I think he knew his team was coming and that gave him the confidence to get himself in trouble.
Yeah, I think psychologically even, like, there was a curse on, so the tower wasn't there to defend him, but if you stood behind the tower, you feel safe, don't you?
Yeah, and mid fort as well, just falling to a minion wave. Meanwhile, they are chasing for kills in top. I think Tronda's going to be very lucky to get away here. There's a lot of CC heading her way. Yeah, and her team deciding to let her go. That Sonya rotation was questionable and lucky not to be punished. But
10 out of 10 for style points, just cruising through there,
Yeah, just letting them know she arrived in the fight a little bit late.
Yeah, Sloth's straight onto that boss now while they have 40 seconds of a hero advantage.
And it looks like Moustaches are going to go get their boss. They know that the boss is being taken and they can't contest it. So we're going to see how fast the Tracer with an Abathur hat can melt that boss down. If the Abathur decides to give her a hat, I think he's deciding to push bot instead, keeping those Vikings at bay. I think they're going to get this boss in time. I don't think it's going to be contested.
ETC. ETC's picked Bolt of the Storm. Why didn't they pick that when we played them last season?
I know, they got so much death metal value against us. Obviously feeling that it's just too powerful and they don't want to use it, right?
Yeah, they're saving it for later in the season, of course.
Or maybe it's just knowing that we're the only team that's so bad that we'll all stand in death metal multiple times in the same match.
Yeah, maybe, that too. So no real value from the Moustaches boss. That's going to go down before it reaches the keep wall.
It's the first tribute at level 20, so if either team's feeling the need to clear their lanes, like Moustaches might be, you can afford to give this tribute and just kind of do a bit of housekeeping.
I would be tempted to get a bit of a push maybe on bot with 4-man for Sloths and then send a Viking to the tribute and you know, they could probably finish off that bot keep quite quickly with a Jimmy. So
Yeah.
it's a bit
I
risky,
mean,
but
Sloth's got their bruisers. Moustaches being a bit slow to get theirs. I would probably have 3 men getting my bruisers and a tracer with an Abathur hat looking for some Viking kills. Try to give you, again, a bit of a macro advantage just going into the next fight. But both teams fairly neck and neck at the moment. I mean, all keeps are alive. There's been more damage to the Moustaches keeps. But again, it's just gonna be a case of who gets the decisive team fight. And right now, Sloth Sanctuaries are nicely positioned to make sure that that's them that gets the
yeah.
engage. But they're backed out. They've been scouted, and just get into safety. And they're going to make sure they clear that mid lane before the next tribute.
I mean, this is the favourable situation when you have the Vikings. There's no, you're not behind structurally. You've got the Vikings. You can keep pressure on lanes a lot better than Abathur can. So
Lauermink positioned quite aggressively there for a gank. But I mean, both teams have been very good at scouting bushes before walking through it. I think he was lucky to get away.
there's an early
There's
cocoon
the,
on ETC.
yeah, and
He's
the hard engage, diving the back line.
nice divine shield on Jimmy.
Shield, but that mosh got 3 people in it. It did get interrupted, but that was enough time to kind of swing the fight, I think.
It's all
Like
very neck and neck.
Sonya clone got killed. There's Thrall. There's Ufa. ETC is going to have to save himself.
Ufa has gone for redemption. So we should see Ufa. Oh, wait. Oh, Ufa had already come back with redemption. My mistake.
So that is a full team wipe. 30 seconds till Jimmy's back. They've got to get a keep here, surely.
Surely?
No. I mean, they've not got the Tronda, so they could easily bring bot lane up, particularly with this camp.
Yeah, they've got a new rank beetle, so as long as they're not hitting any Vikings.
It's just that Abathur's not been able to deal with the Vikings alone. There's been too much Viking pressure, so they have to call the Sonya back to help out. And hopefully then not trade bottom keep for 2 of their own.
Yeah. Well, they've got the siege camp now on bot. Getting the keep towers.
But having to back out because
all the Sloth
Sanctuary are back.
Yeah.
So again, we're really not seeing that much between the teams going into this curse. It's not an essential curse tribute for either of them. I think you've just got to make a judgment call of who gets there first, who gets the vision, who's better set up. If you're going to be slow to it, just let it go and don't risk it. Baylog kill, but that's obviously not going to be too significant for the team fight now. The only ults on cooldown is Sonya's. Everything else is ready to go. And even there, with 15 seconds on my ult as Sonya, I might be reconsidering the engage.
Yeah.
But Abathur clone's been popped, and it's chasing Sloth Sanctuary out. They're happy to give this now.
Well, they've got Eric interrupting the channel in the back. That's some good macro there. And now
they've killed the Abathur clone, and they're coming back. This could be
deciding against it in the end.
Pings to retreat. They let them have the tribute. I thought that was going to go their way then after they killed the Abathur clone.
Yeah, it was a nice bait of the heroic, but they chose not to
They're
take
getting
the
the
fight.
boss. This is going to force Moustaches to contest the boss without the Abathur clone. So this could be a good call. They've scouted it, so they know they're doing the boss, not just baiting it. And here comes the hard engage.
Cocoon on ETC as always. Big stuns there. Ufa goes down, Reyna goes down. Thrall's in a lot of trouble. Ufa heals can't quite keep him alive. The Vikings get the kill on Tyrant, which is very nice, but ETC's probably the next to fall.
Yeah, Moustache has got their full CC chain on
3
members of
2 and 3, yeah, 2 to 3.
I think it landed on 3 members of the team, but they got 2 kills as a result.
Yeah.
And this is now going to give them the curse, provided they can chase the Vikings off, of course. And this curse will get them 3 keeps, I think.
I think it was a good call to go and fight them over the boss then.
Yes,
Uh,
and making it there on time. I think once it got scouted, I think Sloths had to let it tether and just leave it rather than trying to complete it.
yeah.
Tracer with the Abathur hat absolutely destroying top boss. They're going to try to go to core with this. If they don't end with it, at least they're going to get that top keep. ETC's got 25 seconds to his back, so they're going to
Yeah.
have to give the keep and try to defend the core. Boss isn't even there yet, and they've destroyed the keep.
If
So
they can get a couple of kills, they've got the Jimmy damage to deal with the boss. I think that will be okay. But
Abathur's clone's gone out and died. This is perhaps one of the strongest cores.
yeah, definitely. Especially if you can get some ETC stuns for all routes underneath it.
Yeah, there we go.
A lot of armor lost by Inubrak there. He's in a lot of trouble. That showing how
75
strong that is.
armor, and he just gets deleted. Now they need to kill this boss quickly. Jimmy's really focusing it down. Pitter knowing that that's the big threat to them now. Oh, ETC actually using his boot to knock them out of the 75% armor reduction.
Oh, ETC gets
And he got-
deleted by Tracer there. But
And
she pays with her life.
Yeah, she got the nice kill on the ETC, but that classic point and click stun locks her down. She's dead,
Yeah.
and we're gonna see a boss playback and a keep stalling back at bot as well.
Yeah.
So essentially, just the damage that's just been done to Sloth Sanctuary is about to get undone, and then it's going to be toss the dice. Do you think they'll be able to end with this where Moustaches
Yeah,
failed?
it's hard to say. I mean, Moustaches have been the aggressor a lot of the time in these fights, so
I put my bet on Moustaches at the start of this game, and if I could withdraw that bet now, I would. Because I would not be feeling confident with this boss heading my way.
yeah. If I was the Sloths, I would be encouraging us to possibly even look for more than one keep here rather than going for the core. Like you've got the Vikings, so I feel like that would be the play here.
Get Eric in mid and spawn all the Vikings there and push that down just to make sure. But yeah, this keep's not going to last very long at all.
Yeah, ETC is only just coming back now.
Tracer's just poking at the Jimmy and chasing him off. They're playing it safe. They're not going to core.
Yeah, ETC was a bit far out, so by the time he would have arrived, the boss would have been a bit low anyway, so...
So, you're talking bruisers and get ready for the next tribute.
Yeah, I mean, I think that as long as the Vikings are alive, as long as everyone's alive, I think that the Sloths are in a better situation having the Vikings.
I mean, if you're Sloth Sanctuary, you're one game down now as well. You don't need to risk this.
No, definitely not.
You want stay safe, make sure you get the win on this game so that it goes to the third game of the match, and then you get clean sheets. But it's just going to take one mistake from either team at this stage. Both the cores are open. Both the cores have taken some damage. They will fall very quickly if there's a team wipe or even 2 or 3 kills.
Yeah.
And Moustaches are going to give this tribute. They're going to make sure they clear out mid. So getting that bruiser camp was worth it for Sloths. They've got a siege camp pushing bot, but that's going to be cleaned up by Abathur probably. And we'll probably see a bit of indecision. Oh, quick pause from Pitter. So Jimmy pausing the game. I think we're going to see a bit of indecision, a bit of posturing up until this next tribute. Obviously, the next tribute is the potential for the curse for Sloth Sanctuary. So that will be where the decisive fight happens, unless they decide to just not wait around and throw it all over the siege camp instead.
Yeah. I mean, ideally they would sort of stall out the next tribute while trying to push the lanes in with Vikings, but with how aggressive the Moustaches have been, they've not been able to do that. Like, the Moustaches have just gone straight in.
Now, I didn't
engaged.
notice this, but what do you think to Untouchable picked up by Tracer at level 13 is banned and did get banned today?
Sloth Sanctuary indicating they want to finish the game normally. Well, I'm just wanting to point that out.
What would that mean? Would that mean a game forfeit?
It would, yes, if the Sloths weren't happy about it.
And the bug on that talent is that it's given a bit of extra blink range by accident.
Yeah, it's not the easiest to abuse. I mean, if you're doing it on purpose, I guess it's easier. It's easier for Tracer to escape and chase people. If you, it's when you use it around structures or terrain. She just
Yeah.
has like a double blink. So
Oh, really? So it's pretty hard to do.
yeah, I think it can give a big advantage, but it's not something you always abuse. Anyway, we're going back into the game now.
Yeah. Okay, so it won't necessarily have made that much difference to this fight, but
I haven't noticed it, so
yeah, we'll see.
we'll see.
And this could easily go Sloth's way now. Like I said, they aren't fighting over this siege camp, so they're going to try to clear out mid and not lose a keep here. But realistically, it's going to be about getting this tribute and potentially getting the curse. Sloths can give it if they choose to prioritize just clearing this wave, but it's nearly gone, so they're going to have enough time to get to the tribute. I perhaps would just leave it because you know Moustaches have had time to set up. If you turn up to contest now, you're pushing into them and you don't know where they are.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, you've got a little bit of Viking pressure in the bot lane, bit of core damage coming in.
yeah.
So
Well,
yeah,
the Abathur clone came out there to guarantee the tribute, but that's left that pressure on bot, where the shields have gone, and now the one siege giant and the catapult are getting some damage on.
and Abathur not there to deal with it because of using his clone. Now, Sloths won't have seen that the Abathur clone was used, so they're not necessarily going to force a fight as a result of this. Poor Baylog, losing his life, and hello, boss.
Boss attempt number 2. Well, there's been more than that, but you know.
That's the advantage when the match is a bit of a stalemate and you've not got much to do. You can check those boss timers and be there the second it spawns.
Yeah.
And Moustaches seeing the mistake, they now have to try to clear a boss and have to try to stop Sloths getting the curse.
Yeah, this is a tricky one.
I would be ignoring the boss. I would be prioritizing that curse.
27 going on 28 minutes. It's going to do a lot of damage if you ignore it. Level 25.
Sloths are going to do a lot of damage if you ignore them in bot as well.
That's true.
And this could just be a ploy to bait them away from the boss.
Yeah, I mean, they can send a Viking to the tribute now, just to on top of
everything.
everything.
Get a Viking to get a tribute, but stay alive. And there's the... done on the... Thrall, Ufa dead, Jimmy dead. Ufa's going to res, but there's no way that he ends on the core. Boss has got a lot of health, though. I don't think it's going to matter that they had the kills. This is GG. Yeah, that boss at 28 minutes, just a lot of damage.
Yeah.
That was a good effort by Moustaches to try to stop them. But unfortunately, yeah, there was too many options to Sloth Sanctuary there.
Yeah.
With having the 2 tributes, with having the boss.
Definitely.
And in a way, I'm quite glad that went Sloth's way. Having had the ban talent obviously being picked, you don't want them to then lose and kind of be like, well, we could have.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I lose more of my points to you, Poppin.
I know.
Terrible news.
Good news is, though, we get a third game.
Yeah. And now, Sloths were pretty convincing in that game. But I feel like that second game was a lot closer than the first one was.
Yeah, definitely.
So it could go really either way going into this final one. It was just not being able to deal with that Viking pressure. Every time that Moustache has got a few kills or got the advantage in the team fight, they weren't able to make use of it because all the lanes were pushed in so far that they were having to wave clear instead of actually being able to push in and be aggressive.
Yeah, I think they played around the Vikings very well, Sloths. They know how the hero works, and they really played to its strengths as a team.
Yeah. Abathur just wasn't able to deal with that pressure by himself.
Yeah, Linux always says, "Why are you banning Abathur if we're going Vikings?" it's such a hard counter, and that shows why. Like
Yeah.
Aberfy can't do anything against it.
Yeah.
I'll be back in
Um,
just a minute.
okay. So I am going to go over and see what map pick we're going to get. Hopefully, we won't get any banned talents picked in the next game, and we'll try to make sure that the game starts getting played straight away, and you're not watching a blank screen while we just talk about what's going on. The remaining maps to be picked from then for Skya, Sky Temple, Ultrac Pass, and Battlefield of Eternity. Which is the name of this team. Moustaches have had one player disconnect, so we're just going to be waiting for them to come back. Hopefully, we can get the map picked while we wait for them to return. Realistically, it could be any of these maps. They're all fairly similar now. The maps that have been left, they're very team fight focused around an objective, rather than looking at the big macro players. We've obviously not had any 2-lane maps so far. I don't think any of these teams particularly favour 2-lane maps, so I'd be surprised if it's Battlefield of Eternity. More likely to be Tracked or Skya. But we shall have to see.
We will see indeed. I know that Sloths quite like Garden of Terror last season, but that has fallen out of the map pool. One map I do know they like, although I thought I knew their feelings towards Infernal Shrines earlier. They do like Sky Temple, which is open. So if Moustaches go for first pick, which they have, sorry, then we could see Sloths go for Sky Temple here.
Okay, I mean, it's not one of my favourite maps, so I normally avoid it. I'm saying all the map choices left now are team fight focused, where the team fight's happening out of lane. So I don't think it's going to hugely change any of their strategies. Battlefield of Eternity is the only 2-lane map left. I don't think they'll pick that.
No, I would be surprised as well. Sloths are having a think about it.
Oh, and good news. Karis has now posted the list of streams that are happening today.
Yay!
So, after us, there is a Div 4 match as well. XL5 against Pentatonic. And then you've got Div 7 and Tactical Suicide versus Owl Exterminators at 9.
Ooh, exciting! They took Sky Temple.
You were right, finally.
Finally. Yeah, they do like, as mentioned, Soft Sanctuary, definitely a macro-focused team, so we saw it there on Cursed Hollow. That's what they like to do. We could see more Vikings here, we could see a cheeky Samuro, possibly.
Oh, who's the Samurai player?
I've got it in my head that Dentro is.
Okay.
So I feel like I might have seen it mentioned somewhere.
I'll take your word on it.
I might be completely off there, but...
Do you think they're going to have a strategy in mind with having picked Sky Temple? Or is there like one of 3 cheesy strategies they like on this one?
Ooh, hard to say. I mean, we could even see the Juice Pirates here as well. Who knows?
I was hoping to see a whole lot of portrait changes foretelling what it was going to be like.
That's true, yeah.
We join the lobby and we see that Sloth Sanctuaries have all changed to a full stat portrait or something like that.
Chogol? I mean, we never play this map, so I'm a bit useless when trying to predict what teams are going to play, but would Chogol work on here, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, double soaking mid to bot and then choosing a objective to fight over
Yeah,
could happen.
but yeah, like you say, the Falsad's very strong on this map, and I know that much.
It's that class. It's again, it's same as the other maps we've had. There's potential for global values, but also it's very team fight focused. So if you think we're gonna win a fight over an objective because we're gonna go for a single target blow up or anything like that, we could see something similar to the first game from Moustaches, where they might just get roots, knock someone down, kill one person, and that's enough for them to win the objective every time.
Yeah, I mean,
No need for big wombo combos, less choke points than Cursed Hollow. So you're fighting out in the open. So AOE blow up is a little bit more difficult, which obviously that favoured Moustaches in the last game. They were getting a couple people in the Anub stun under a starfall, and they were getting that advantage of targeting a few people at once.
yeah. I mean, I think from the first two matches, if you're the Sloths, you know that Moustaches, they like the CC chains. They're very good at them. You need to make sure you pick a support who can deal with it. Second map they did with Ufa, so I feel like you either need to avoid fights altogether and go full on macro and not give them the opportunity, or you need to be able to deal with it.
Yeah, I liked the Ufa pick last game. I know Sloths won the game, but they were. It surprised me in some of the fights that they ended up with the deaths that they had. I think Ufa was unlucky getting CC'd as well as whoever their main target was.
Definitely,
like,
yeah.
There was a few times where a noob would stun 3 of them at once, and I suppose that's the problem with Curse Hollow of being so grouped up in those choke points. You can get punished like that. That won't be as easy on this map, so
No.
I think Sloths will be able to deal with it a bit better here.
Yeah. So we see the Rhaegar respect ban once more.
Yeah, we played against Sloths and they played Rhaegar, and I seem to remember getting punished a lot.
Yeah, we just got bloodlusted to death. So ETC ban. So that's a high priority pick for the Moustaches. Sloths had first pick last game. They stole it away. I think they know that Moustaches are going to pick it up now if they can. So they've
Because
just
they
banned
love
that out.
those CC chains.
They do.
Point and click stun from the main tank. It's obviously the main tank is calling the engage, and then everyone's following up on it, and ETC is the perfect one.
Yeah.
Banning the Abathur, perhaps a bit more surprising on this map.
Yeah, I mean, it is a popular map for Abathur. That's the thing, we don't play this map, so we don't know this, but yeah, Abathur's a high priority on this map. Zul is open. Maybe not the best map for him, but could get a bit of double soaking going on, perhaps.
We could see something like a Deathwing on this map as well, but
Yeah.
it's not been banned all match, and no one's picked it up.
Yeah.
That grey main that we know Ease is good on. So again, you're straight away thinking, okay, they're going to be locking down and blowing us up.
Valstad Tyrael.
Hello.
It could be happening. I mean, ignoring potential juice pirates, really good boss control. But boss is a massive throw pit on this map. So now you've got Holy Ground, Sanct, Gust. So that puts you in a really good position there.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to name 2 heroes that shut down a dive comp, there they are.
Exactly.
And they've got them both.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you just don't counter synergy each other.
Yeah. We see Anna and Malfield picked up by Moustaches, 2 of their favourite heroes. I don't know if they do like Nano Boost, Tormented Souls. If they do, well, the Sloths have got Falstad to deal with that. The Sloths ban out the Anubrak, and then the Morale is banned by Moustaches, who say, "Are you thinking about Juice Pirates? Well, we're going to make the decision for you. You're not playing it."
We do not
today.
want to have to play against that.
Nope. So, if that was the plan of Sloth Sanctuary, they're currently masterminding a different tactic.
Slight hesitation on their lock-ins, so they're obviously discussing something now.
Sylvanas Malfurion, 2 solid picks there.
Yeah, Sylvanas is really I mean, potentially 2 priority tanks have already been taken away from Moustaches. Sylvanas can absolutely shred through a lot of tanks,
Yeah.
including Diablo. So I mean, Diablo hard engaged. They're going to be diving in again. Painful comp to be a Tyrael against, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think you need to.
What do you take here? Who's your final one?
Sonya's open, and that is a favourite. I think Sonya could be good. You can get the Sonya on the Anna in the back line once everyone goes in. Artanis, okay.
Blinds, AoE blinds.
AoE blinds, yeah, that'll be a big difference against Greymane Rayner. He has been buffed
That,
recently.
see, I was thinking Blaze maybe because you can go for the obviously a trait reduces their damage.
Yeah.
But Artanis
No,
is, I mean, it's much quicker way of just saying 0 damage. He's been buffed, so he does more damage now as well himself.
yeah. I
I think
mean,
that's a really good Artanis choice. I like that.
I
It's
mean,
a question of how comfortable is that.
yeah. I mean, we might have seen Artanis anyway if they'd have gone for Juice Pirates. He is a popular choice as the bruiser, so maybe they had that hovered and maybe he just didn't want to change. Maybe he had his heart set on playing Artanis, perhaps.
Go and pop in, place your bets.
I'm gonna go with the Sloths again. I'm sorry, but I just feel like they've adapted to Moustaches shrimps. You've gone for the Sloths as well.
I typed it
Biased
out.
casting.
Typed it out before I asked you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do you know, it was that Artanis pick. It's when he locked it in, I just thought, yeah, that's going to be so painful,
Yeah.
so disappointing when you do that hard engage and then you've got a couple seconds where it's just, oh, we're doing no damage, and they're stood there,
Yeah.
and then if that's followed by a sanct, now the risk is that there's not going to be much damage from the Sloth Sanctuaries going back at them. Now
Scene change. I'm not forgetting this time.
on Moustaches, do not forget this time. I will never forgive you. On Moustaches, we have Saldus on Anna, Blauermink on Diablo, Search on Rayna, Ease on Greymane, Pogo OK, API on Malfeal.
And Sloth Sanctuary are the red team. We have Typhoon Hawk on Tyrael, Pitter on Sylvanas, Tiny L on Malfurion, Dentro on Falstad, and Paradox on Artanis. I nearly forgot his name then.
We've got Malfeal double soaking and 4-man top.
Yep. Oh, Falstad in a tricky position there, but he can barrel roll away.
Diablo letting you know that he is an aggressive tank to start off with.
Yeah. I mean,
and they've now left Jimmy top and come down, so it looks like they might be going for a more normal 4-man rotation. And Jimmy's just going to try poking at Artanis and see how he gets on there. Now, I apologise in advance for every time that I call Artanis Arthas, because I always do it.
Yep, no problem.
You barely changed the screen in time, I saw.
I was waiting for you to do the introductions. I was kind of,
Oh, okay. It's all my fault.
Massive aggression here from the Moustaches on the Sylvanas, who will go down.
Getting that value. Tyrael also going to fall.
Malfurion.
Sorry, Malfurion.
And they steal the camp.
That's a nice start for Moustaches.
Yeah, you've got an aggressive camp. You have to be aggressive, and they've done just that. You can't play passively. When you go for that kind of camp, you need to play to your strengths. So we see Greymane and Anna going for the bruises.
Until they get level 10, Sloths are not going to have much to do with the engage.
Yeah.
So if I was Sloths, I'll be looking at soaking. I'll be looking at trying to contest whichever objective Moustaches don't go to, and just think about macro until you get 10.
Yeah, I mean, Falstad's gone for bribe at level 1, Sylvanas has gone for the stacking quest, so yeah, it's all about being patient, and just not being baited into that fight, or being caught out.
And of course, the objectives aren't that powerful on this map, so having the Sylvanas as well, we could see, them trying to cheese an off lane and try to push a bit. Or if they go top or mid, also trying to push at the same time as leaving one person on the point.
Mm-hmm.
So we could see them trying to kind of double up and get an XP lead that way as well.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see, because Anna's such a comfort pick for Moustaches, if the sleeps are going to be on point, and more particularly the follow-ups.
I was going to say, if there had been a sleep or a stun from the Diablo, then Full Stack could have been in a lot of trouble.
Definitely.
They're losing both their towers and their wall at top anyway from this push. But Sloth's choosing to get mid, play safe. Malfield's double soaking, so it's gotten them nearly half a level lead. It's going to be interesting to see what else Sloths do on top of getting the objective here.
Yeah.
For now, they're just safely soaking rather than trying to do anything risky or aggressive.
Moustaches have the level 7 lead, so they can come and contest the middle temple. There's a small window where they'll have that advantage.
Yeah, I think they're going to be too slow on the rotation now, because they have chosen to clear top instead. Getting some pressure in mid lane, Tyrael just clearing the wave, looking to push that in a bit. But I think Sloth's are going to come down to bot and try to push that a bit more now. Full Stad in top with bruisers, calling Greymane up to come and clear that. And it looks like Full Stad's coming down, capturing the vision. Got Jimmy on him. Yeah, a bit of cat and mouse up there, but I mean, if you've got your Full Stad and he's able to keep two people chasing him around, that's where you can just go 4-man push bot, get the Savannah's value, try to get some walls, try to get a well, get ready for the next objective. So that's what I would have done rather than calling the Artanis up.
Well, it looks like Falstad's come to mid anyway, as the Moustaches get their siege camp. Sloths are also getting theirs.
Trading their siege camps, but Sloths are a level behind now. And they need to do something to catch that up before they get to the next objective, really, because you don't want to be fighting level 9 versus level 10. Here comes the rotation down. I think we're going to see Moustaches get 10 and really force a fight.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, can the Sloths afford to give the bottom temple or not?
They can afford to give the bottom temple, especially because they've got the Savannahs and an Artanis. If 5 men come down for the bottom temple thinking there's going to be a fight, those two could easily get mid or top.
And we might just see that.
Boss.
Oh,
I mean,
see a boss. And okay, I was going to say we might just see a push on top, as you mentioned, but Moustache is abusing their level 10 advantage, and they're just saying, "This is our boss, and we're going to take it."
And look at that indecision from Sloths as well. Savannahs and Malfurions started rotating down, then realised that they didn't have 10 and couldn't really contest it anyway, so went back up to top. But in the time they did that, the boss has been captured. You've got 5 men coming up from Moustaches now, and they could be in trouble in top lane if they hang around. So, yeah, they just a bit of hesitation cost them there. But meanwhile, Tyrael's getting the objective. He's not going to be able to fully cap it. He's going to be forced out. But they're level 10. They can clear this boss and then look for a fight. Now, Tyrael,
he might be in trouble here. He is a Tyrael, but
he knows he's got his disengage, but Moustaches
nice.
are ready to finish him off.
Nice Q from Tyrael. Really nice counter engage. Malfield gets deleted, and Anna's very low. She just gets away a nice sleep.
Saved by a sleeping dart, but Diablo's gone, and this objective goes to Sloths. That's caught them up. They're going to get equal XP by the time that's objective's done.
Yeah.
Jimmy choosing to soak top, and I think that's what cost them the team fight, really.
Yeah, and it was a really nice Tyrael bait. You know, the Malfield really went in on that kill, and it put him in a very dangerous position.
This is what I mean. If Malfield had backup, he might have been able to survive. There would have been enough damage there to stop them, but he was alone, and he just got absolutely swept away by Sloth Sanctuary, who made the on-the-spot decision to engage and not care that they were a level behind.
Yeah.
Now they're going to push mid as well, I think. Full Star getting the bruisers. They're either going to push mid or top. Top with these bruisers is the right decision. I think they've got a really nice team comp for pushing in, which you don't often see on this map because you see people prioritizing the team fights. But yeah, they can absolutely destroy buildings. Vision goes the way of Moustaches. Moustaches are coming to contest. Malfurion putting a root down just to keep their flank safe. And Falstad's sneaking off. Just going to fly to bot, start soaking, try to catch them up a bit more XP. We're neck and neck now. We're going to see siege camps and a bit more posturing getting ready for this next objective.
Yeah.
Mustaches will hit level 13 first, but I don't think we'll see any big decisive team fight as a result of that.
No, Falstad's on 23 stacks at the moment, so I was wondering if he was close to stealing away the camp from Moustaches, but not quite just yet.
Savannah's going for the ever satisfying dings. Got her quest. So not going for the percentage damage against the Diablo, which is a little bit surprising. But other than that, I'm not seeing any rogue talent choices really from anyone.
Yeah, I think it would be hard to go for the percentage damage. Good against Diablo, yes, but when you've got a Grey main and a Jimmy stood there, you're going to struggle to get too many.
What happened there was Falstad was positioned quite aggressively in bot, and it just tempted Mustaches looking for that gank on the Falstad.
Yep.
I mean, fair play to Malfield getting it anyway. Falstad holding on to its gust a little bit too long, but it cost them a fort in top. So, if provided Sloth Sanctuary get away from this, which they have done,
yeah, it was a nice cleanse by the Malfurion.
That's an alright trade. Sorry, they're going to come down and try to get a Malfield kill here as well, which would be a great call if it does. But yeah, I think it's just a bit unlucky that the Falstad died. If the Falstad hadn't died there, that would have been beautiful for them.
Definitely. Yeah,
Falstad's going to clear the siege camp now.
Yeah, you can see why Malfield's such a favoured pick for Moustaches. They do play it very well. They've got a good Malfield player who can get those kills.
Yeah, gets his auto attack on the Falstad once, and then just sticks to him and doesn't let him escape, and whittles him down. They're going to push for... Oh, they are going for a keep. I don't think Sloths are going to be quick enough to come back here.
Oh, they look like they're going for a push of their own, perhaps?
Falstad's got his gust, so I guess they know they've got that disengage. They're pushing bot.
Are we going to have a core race here? I'm not prepared for that excitement.
You're going to see two keeps. There's the gust, putting Malfield in a lot of trouble there. And Sloths have better race. They had to go through a gate, but they managed to get the keep quicker, especially with that gust to buy them a bit of time. Okay, they're not getting the keep quicker.
They're going straight on core. They've got a Jimmy and a Grey main. Sloths are going to have to be decisive here. Falstad still staying alive. Nano boost on the Malfield.
I'm surprised.
Looks like Moustaches have this.
Yeah, Sloths really should have decided to back there. They've got good ability to push down keeps, but that core ace, wow. I did not expect that to end there so quickly.
No.
I fully supported Sloth's decision to race the keeps, knowing that they had Gust. But I think once the keep had gone and it was clear that Moustaches were going for you, they had to back. There was only 3 kills each team in that game.
Yeah. The blind.
Absolutely.
Blind a bit late then?
Global blind to defend the core. So he stopped the Jimmy and Grey main damage. Did he put it down? I'm just watching it now on your Twitch. I don't think he did.
Yeah, possibly a bit late with that. Do you want to interrogate?
Yes. We'll take a... If Blower Mink will have a captain's interview, I imagine he's very pleased with that.
Yeah, I can imagine so. I think the Moustaches will be happy to have got the first win in Division 4. There isn't a bye. Especially against a seasoned Division 4 team.
Yeah, I mean, any team beating Sloth Sanctuary is going to be happy because they've performed so well in Div 4 in the past. So that's really a bit of a statement to say, yeah, let's do well this season. Let's come quite high. Yeah, I'm really shocked at how that final game went. That came from nowhere, just
definitely.
deciding to let each team go call a race and see what happened.
Yeah.
When the game before that was dragged out so long and people played so cautiously and backed and made sure that they didn't feed, so there was always that chance to come back in the game rather than risking it. That was the exact opposite.
Yes. Okay, we're going to have an interview from Search from Moustaches. He's in the interview room now. So let's head on over.
Head on over.
Hello.
Search.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing? I imagine you're in a great mood after that win then.
Oh boys, I'm fucking done. Oh, like the last two games were like just nerve games.
And I mean, I think I'm still in shock at how that final game just ended. I did not expect that to go so quickly. That's for sure. I was just saying to Poppin, after the second game was every inch of that map was fought over and it was dragged out as long as possible. Neither team took any risk. What made you just go, "We've got the keep, let's go to core" at the end?
Now in the last game,
In the last game, yeah.
oh, we were just like, we have Greyman, we are faster, let's do this.
Yeah, and you absolutely melted the core. Obviously, Sloths did not expect it to fall that quickly. They'd had the full stad Gus to try to buy a bit of time on the keep, but yeah, they had nothing to shut that down in the end. I'll take you back to the first game.
Uh-huh.
You obviously had a very nice comp with the ETC power slide into the Malfurion routes.
Oh yeah. Just blow off comp.
Yeah, it looked well rehearsed and well practiced together. Is that just go-to strategy for you? Lock down and blow up?
We were surprised as well that it worked so well because we haven't practiced it beforehand. So we were surprised, but was a good surprise.
Yeah, it went very well. I'm sure the Muradin player on the other team was cursing every time
really
that he went in. So yeah, that first game you're really quite convincing, and obviously playing against Sloth Sanctuary, you probably expected them to be quite a tough opponent going into that.
Yeah, like we saw the last cup and they performed really well, and so we were really, really afraid to play against them.
Yeah.
And they really delivered. Like.
Yeah, I mean, that first game, like I said, it was very convincing on your part. That second game was so back and forth between the two teams, and that in a way was then what we expected as well going into the third game, was that it'd be really close and really contested. So yeah, complete shock with how quick that third game went. Have coming up to Div 4 this season, did you guys kind of have any expectations for where you want to try to place by the end of the season?
Well, obviously as good as possible. So we will try our best and let's see where we get.
Yeah, and after this win, I imagine you will be thinking as good as possible can be very high. You might be getting
the
through.
pressure's rising on us.
Pick up again, yeah, definitely. Was there when you saw the Vikings get picked from the other team? What was morale like in your voice chat at that stage? Were you kind of prepared for that and quite happy to deal with the Vikings, or did it kind of shake your strategy up a bit?
Well, it's a reasonable pick against Abathur, so we wasn't too surprised. We thought we would be quite comfortable against them, but yeah, it showed that we need some more practice against them.
Fair enough. They kept you every time you got a team fight, it meant you had to tidy up after the Vikings rather than being able to celebrate the kills you did have, which I imagine was quite frustrating. There's not really any more questions from me other than to say kind of well done and congratulations on the win. Is there kind of any shout outs you want to do?
Well, obviously to my team because we performed so well today. But also to our opponents because I think we learned a lot from our matches and we are excited to play further games in the division. Cool. It's hella fun.
Excellent. Poppin, did you have any questions?
No, I think you covered everything there. That was good.
Cool. Yeah, well done again, and well done to the rest of your team. And hopefully we'll be able to cast you again before the season's over. Good luck in your future matches.
All right, thank you.
Cheers.
Cool, well
Bye.
played.
Bye.
Cheers, bye-bye. And back.
Here we are.
Here we are again.
Poppin.
Final 40 mech.
No, so when I was looking at both teams beforehand, I thought it was fairly clearly going to be a Sloth Sanctuary win.
Yep.
Just from the records, from how well Sloth Sanctuary have done in the past. After the first game, I was surprised, but I thought Sloth Sanctuary could still come back. I thought they'd still have the macro, they'd have their cheesy comps. The second game being so hardly fought and being so close did make me go into that final one not at all knowing what to expect, thinking it could go either way. So really impressed with Moustaches. Surprised that they said they hadn't practiced that lockdown blow-up comp much.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
It seemed really coordinated. Maybe it just comes from having played together a lot and having perhaps a clear shot caller or clear engage called on the fight. But yeah, that game really surprised me. I thought perhaps out of every game we've cast, that was going to be the more obvious of the results.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm not going to say pleasantly surprised, but I am in the terms of that it wasn't just a one-sided snowball, and it was quite an exciting game. And
yeah,
I think
definitely.
Sloths will be looking at that and saying, we need to learn, or
Yeah.
we know. Certainly, there's mistakes that were made that it was like they won't make that mistake again. They won't let a Greymane and a Jimmy on their core.
Yeah. So but before that call in the third game, do you feel like who do you think was on top prior to that keep push?
I do think Moustaches were on top prior to the keep push, but not enough to have after the second game it could have easily swung either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it. I think the Tyrael was perhaps a little bit too squishy as the main tank.
Yeah.
Against that, but I mean, we didn't really see any proper team fights there. We didn't see the Sank to stop the engage. We didn't see the Artanis blinds when the Greymane dived in, because we didn't see any proper team fights set up 5v5. Let's go. So we don't actually know how that comp would have really worked for them.
Yeah, we only saw three kills apiece in the end, so
that's what I mean. So in a way, we were yet to see any decisions on who was going to win that map. And that's what it went from a lot of posturing, a pick here or there, nothing significant, to game over without really having the main part of the game where you'd see which comp was paying off and which one wasn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, is disappointed the word of that final game? I guess it is. Cause
it didn't live up to its potential, did it? It just got decided by this team has the faster race.
But that was still pretty exciting because
it's exciting. Exciting for us.
I thought Sloths were going to get the keep quicker. After the gust, I thought that was it. Sloths were going to get the keep, be back and defend. And yeah, they obviously just thought we've got enough to melt this core, and Full Star's going to be able to defend a bit more successfully. Don't know.
Yeah.
I want that final game to be fought again.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was good fun.
Yeah, it was exciting.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the most exciting result for Div 4. For every other team in Div 4, that's going to be opening it up a bit more. I think if Sloths had won that convincingly, it would be everyone going, okay, Sloths are the major competitor, and Moustaches are just a team that's come up from the Div below who are going to finish mid-table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whereas now, both of those Sloths have to fight a little harder to be in the top 5, and Moustaches now go, we deserve to be in this league, and we deserve to be in the top 5 of it. So,
definitely, it'll fill them with confidence, no doubt. So
yeah, pretty good. Anyway, I think that's all for me.
Yeah, right. Well, that's all from me. So,
Cool. Cheers to everyone that watched,
yes, thank you, everyone.
and well done to both teams. Thanks.
GG
Thanks.
both.
GG,
Cool.
yeah.
Right, we'll see you next time then.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.